I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm actually going to be hauling the stuff that I purchased from the Sephora VIB sale thus far. And I'm saying thus far because I still have stuff in my bucket and the sale doesn't end till the 6th of May. And there are still some things I want to get. Well, Charlotte Tilbury's Glowgasm collection just released on there too. So I did already order the darker version of her face palette that came out. It's not here yet though. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a few skincare items. I couldn't decide between these two oils, so I went ahead and I purchased them both. One is the Herbivore Emerald Deep Moisture Glow Oil, and this isn't the first one that they came out with. This is the one that has 100 milligrams of CBD and adaptogens in it. And then the other one that I got is from a brand called Flora and Bast, which is a newer brand to Sephora, and it's the age adapting facial serum with full spectrum cannabis complex, 1.0% it says. Both of these are 30 milliliters or 1 ounce of product. The Flora and Bast one has got 300 milligrams of CBD compared to the Herbivore one that only has 100. I've been using pretty regularly the new Josie Maran Skin Dope with 100 milligrams of CBD. The only two ingredients in that oil is argan oil and CBD. I haven't had any reactions with my skin or anything. I really like that there's very minimal ingredients and they used an argan oil with the CBD. That being said, both of these products have got caprylic triglycerides in there, which is a derivative of coconut oil, or also known as something like fractionated coconut oil, which my skin and actual coconut oil just doesn't do good. It's like breakout central, so I typically try to stay away from products that have coconut oil in them. Granted, this is a fractionated coconut oil, so it pulls out certain aspects of the components that make up coconut oil, if that makes sense. But fractionated coconut oil, what it does is kind of acts as a carrier for other oils to drive it deeper into the skin. A lot of like essential oil type companies use a fractionated coconut oil to mix in with those essential oils to better penetrate the skin with, basically. So the Flora and Bast one has got the caprylic triglycerides in there mixed with CBD. That's the majority of the ingredients. You got caprylic, capric, and lauric triglycerides, which are all derived from organic coconuts. And then you've got cannabis sativa oil and cannabis sativa seed oil in the Flora and Bast. And then the emerald oil from Herbivore, which also has caprylic triglycerides in it, has got a lot more other ingredients like the adaptogens and whatnot. This has got quite a few more ingredients than this guy. Now, when I used the Flora and Bast one, I used it the day after I used the Emerald one, and I had gotten 2 blemishes on my face. It could just be my skin. I hope it's just my skin acting up, which is what it likes to do. But I'm really nervous that those coconut derivatives from these products might have done it. I hope not. I'm going to wait for those to clear up and then I'm going to give these a go again. If anything, it's probably the Flora and Bast one, because that one does have quite a bit more of the coconut in it than the emerald. But that being said, both of the oils feel super nice on the skin. Like, I have a really reactive red skin type, and I could almost see when I was using especially this Flora and Bast one, the redness just calmed down a lot. So I'm really hoping it's not these that broke me out. I'm just hoping it was my skin. But I'm really into the CBD skincare like products and stuff. So far, I mean, I gotta give these a better go. I've only used them like off and on 3-4 days. The Josie Maran one I know has not broke me out, and I really like that one, but I'm gonna give these a better go. But I bought those. And then I also got this new eye cream from First Aid Beauty. It's the Retinol eye cream with triple hyaluronic acid and skin saver complex. There's a 1/2 ounce in a squeezy tube. This has got actual just plain out retinol on the ingredients list. I had read the reviews, which were for the most part pretty good, and I was so hesitant, but I was like, just try it, because like retinol is one of the only ingredients that is proven to help with wrinkles, and especially around the eye area is where they show up most prominent, the quickest, if you will. And I haven't really been able to use retinols around my eyes, but I'm like, just try it. So I've been trying it and I've been using it for about 5 days, morning and night. It's not quite hydrating enough to use by itself, so I will put this one on first and then I'll go over it with something a little more hydrating, which might have helped a little bit with irritation. I do have a slight tingly irritation around my eyes, but nothing near what I have experienced in the past with products that contain retinol. I mean, I could use a product with retinol at the very bottom of the list and my eyes would like almost like swell and turn red and raw. I am so surprised that this has not done that to me yet. Granted, like I said, there is a little bit of tingly, itchy irritation, but not a lot at all compared to what, like I said, what I've had in the past with using retinols around the eyes. So this is posing really promising for me. And retinol is it's about midway on the ingredient list. Well, a little higher than midway. It's like right there. And then those are all the ingredients. So it's like a third of the way down. So it's a decent amount of retinol that's in here. So I'm hoping for the best because I'd like to kind of get some help with the little fine lines that are right here on my eyes. But I'm really surprised that this has not fried my eyes off. So that's the Fab Skin Lab Retinol Eye Cream from First Aid Beauty. So far, so good. And then lastly, for skincare, I purchased the Belif The True Cream Moisturizing Balm, not to be confused with the Aqua Balm. This is a product that I've used pretty religiously for quite a while now. This is the 3.3 ounce tub, which is about twice as much product that comes in the ones that I've usually purchased. I don't see these all the time on Sephora. I love the little seal that's on the cover right there. But I go through this pretty quickly, so I was happy to get it in a larger size because again, it's about twice as much product for a little less money. I use this every single night, and I've been mixing in that skin dope from Josie Maran in this, and then this is how I've been using those other two CBD oils as well. I've used them by themselves too, but most oftentimes I like to mix them in with this cream, so I bought this guy. I was also going to purchase the Josie Maran SPF 47 moisturizer that I use, but the Josie Maran website had 22% off a few weeks ago, and they sell the great big, is it 6 ounce? It's 6 ounce, I think. The great big tubs of the sunscreen, so I went ahead and I purchased them there. And I do use that Josie Maran around my eye area over the eye cream that I already put on for that added SPF. And I guess the reason I'm bringing it up is because I purchased this Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick. And this is in Opal 01. There's 0.35 ounces or 10 grams in the foundation stick. I didn't buy this for a foundation all over my skin. I bought this for an eyeshadow primer because they had Sephora had a code where you could get a little sample size of it, and so I did that and I got the Opal 01 shade, and I've been using this for eyeshadow primer and I love it. Like my eyeshadows blend really easy, and it also has SPF 25 in it, which I think a lot of the times people kind of tend to forget to protect the skin on their eyelids. I've kind of been using Physicians Formula concealer with SPF throughout the summer for quite some time. They've got various different versions that I've gone through and used, and then I also again use that Josie Maran SPF 47 moisturizer all the way around my eyes as well before I even do my makeup. But I thought this was such a nice eye primer, and it's got the SPF 25 in it. So I'm going to swatch the little stick here. It's the light one with pink undertones. And I just use a brush to kind of blend it out from the lash line to up underneath the brow. I've heard that a lot of people have raved about how nice this looks as a foundation on the skin as well, which I might try. I'm always skeptical about trying new foundations all over my face, but I believe this one's got paraffin in it, and which is a scarier ingredient for me. A few silicones. It's got cocoa seed extract. Some hydrating ingredients, but for all over my skin, I'm a little nervous about breaking out. But I feel like this does have a slight bit of hydration, which also helps because I have a drier eyelid. If you have really oily eyelids, you might not like this as an eyeshadow primer, but for me, it's really been working out great. I've been wearing this little guy for like 2 weeks. So since I was enjoying it so much, I wanted to get the full size for when I run out of the little guy. And again, that's the Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick from Bare Minerals with SPF 25, and I got Opal 01. I wanted to show you guys the box on this Flora and Bast Age Adapting Facial Serum, that cannabis with 300 milligrams in it. This has actually got the date printed on the box for when they like batched it. So I got this one. It says 4/8/2019, formulated and filled. This is I believe it's what they call the clean beauty section on Sephora, but I just thought that was a really nice touch that they had that on the box. Next up, I bought this blush duo from Kosas, which is a newer, clean brand, again, that Sephora has been carrying. But I'd been looking at this particular duo on like Nordstrom for so long. And since it was sale time and it showed up on Sephora, I was like, just give it a shot. So I got the Longitude Zero Color and Light Pressed Powder Blush and Highlighter. The packaging is a relatively simple hard plastic packaging. There's 0.28 ounces of total product in here, so about 0.14 ounces or 4 grams per shade. This doesn't really, to me, doesn't look quite like how it looked online. This looked a lot lighter, and in person it's really peach. It's not very shiny. So what I've kind of been doing with it is either using this blush by itself or mixing it in with the highlighter portion to kind of lighten up this shade. But I'm not crazy about this shade for a highlighter, at least on my skin tone, and it's pretty subtle, especially for like something that I'm kind of used to wearing, which is much more in your face. But the formulation is really smooth, and I do like that blush product. But I was just really surprised that this is a bit darker and much more kind of peachy in real life. And then this is a little bit more of a rosier pink, darker rosy pink than what it looked like. I was expecting like baby pink and like a white pearly. But anyway, that's the Kosas Longitude Zero Color and Light Pressed Powder Blush and Highlight right there. And then I thought I'd give the Milk Makeup Kush Lash Primer a shot. It just was really intriguing to me, and I was thinking it's one of those things as well that's hemp-derived type stuff, and I thought maybe if I use it, it'll help nourish and lengthen my lashes, which it probably would if I continued to use it, but I'm not that crazy about the primer. And I've wanted so bad to love the Kush mascara, but it flakes on me. But I thought the primer would be a little bit different, and I've used it with my favorite CoverGirl, what do I like to use though? The Supersizer mascara. That's like my all-time fave. And the biggest problem that I've had with this here is so much product comes out on the wand that it's really hard to get a fine coating over your lashes. They really clump together bad. It's one of those rubbery type of bristled brushes that's on there. But I wish not as much product came out on the wand. I try to scrape it off, but because it's that bristly brush, it doesn't come off very easily. And I think because so much product gets on the lashes, and then I go in with my mascara, it's just too much product, and I end up getting flaking with my favorite CoverGirl Supersizer mascara when I use this. So I just want to love these Milk Kush lash products, but they're just not working for me. And I want them to work. And then next up, I did go ahead and purchase a backup of the Urban Decay Game of Thrones Mother of Dragons highlight palette. I'm tempted. I really don't need to, but I'm so tempted to buy a backup of the eyeshadow palette too. I'm not going to. But I bought a backup of this because I really like these cheek products. Something about the way that the glow on the cheeks is when I was using all those products, I just kind of fell in love with it. I'm going to swatch the one that I have already used as opposed to the backup there so you guys can see the shades. It's a thicker formula that really kind of needs to be buffed into the skin to look the prettiest. But when I use this all together, it just creates a really pretty cheek. So I bought a backup of this. I feel like I really sound like I'm out of breath. I'm kind of riding the struggle bus today. I've got a pinched nerve in my right hip lower back that's just kind of killing me, and I get those little sharp noises like so I'm sorry if I sound like a little like I'm struggling for air. Next up, I got 2 items from the Sephora brand collection. They came out with this new range of lipsticks. They don't come in a box, and it really doesn't say a name or like what kind of lipstick it is on the tube, but this is what the tubing looks like. It's like their new luxe kind of lipstick, Sephora brand. This is L24. That's all I can kind of read on the sticker there. And I originally had like 6 of these in my cart, and I was like, just try one to make sure you like it, because I had seen actually pretty good reviews on this. This is just a really light nude pink shade, and the color is really pretty, but I'm not super nuts over the formula. I love the finish, super glossy, but it almost has a slight lip balm texture to it. And it has quite a bit of pigmentation, but the texture is thinner and it's a little bit more slick than something that I like in a lipstick. I like my lipstick to feel a little bit more substantial, like it's going to stay in place better, and this just kind of slides all over. And because it's a lighter formula, it's easier to kind of bunch up in areas, if that makes any sense. Maybe I need to try a few more other colors. I was hoping to make it in the store and swatch them in the store if they had them in there, to see if there was maybe a little bit of difference between colors. But it's a little bit more of a slick formula than something that I like. Again, that's the shade L24 from the Sephora brand. I love that they have the color on the end of the tube like that. So if you do love the lipsticks and you buy a bunch, you can like see the colors. And then the other one that I got from the Sephora brand is the I Love, it just says I Love Sephora I Love eyeshadow palette. Is it just called I Love? Is there a style? Maybe this one is the style I Love. I have actually got the cool version of this same style of palette in my cart right now that I want to get, because this little palette is such a, it's like just a all one and done, super easy, simple eye. This is what I've got on my eyes today. I've got these shades right here from the crease upwards. The shimmers are really pretty as well, but they're just very, very neutral. They don't lean super warm. They don't lean super cool, but just really nice neutral brown shades in there. And then the shimmers are super pretty. It's got a nice large base kind of shadow, matte shadow. That's, for me, is a matte underneath the brow bone. And there's one, yeah, it's the cool one that I want to get because it also has the same type of light shade in there. But what a really nice palette. And I think these are only $14 on top of that. So with the discount, I mean, they're not bad price at all. And they, for me, they blend out. They're pigmented. They're a really nice little buy from Sephora. Each of the 6 pans are 0.036 ounces. And then this larger one is 0.126. So that's a pretty good amount of product in there too. So those are the matte ones, and then let me swatch the shimmers. Here are the shimmer shades. Sometimes the Sephora brand can be a little hit and miss, especially with their eye palettes, but I think that this one is really nice. And it's so affordable too. So that is this guy right here, I Love, from the Sephora brand. Then I saw these new Too Faced Crystal Whips shimmering eyeshadow veils. It says 12-hour long wear infused with peach and sweet fig milk. And I was thinking along the lines of something like the Stila Glitter and Glows, like those really pretty shiny eyeshadows. There's a couple brands that do those pretty shimmery shadows, liquid ones like that are so stunning. And so I was thinking that this was going to be like that. This is not like that. There's 0.165 fluid ounces of product in here, and the shade that I got is called Club Kid. This is that one that's got the purple with the fancy duochromes in it. This is just really, really underwhelming. If you've tried any of these, or even this one in particular, let me know if yours was this underwhelming or if any of the other shades were prettier or what. But I do like the packaging on there. The doe foot applicator, if you can see it, it looks like the fuzzies are like all smushed together, almost like, I don't know, it doesn't look that cute coming. I wonder how well you can see that. It doesn't look that nice. But this is really sheer, really underwhelming, almost kind of blends out to nothing. And I was just expecting something wonderful to boot, but what is that? So, yeah, I'm sending this back. This is so disappointing to me. Anyway, that's the Too Faced Crystal Whips Shimmering Eyeshadow Veil in Club Kid. Now let's talk about some single shadows that do pack a punch. I finally bit the bullet and bought the rest of the Touch in Sol Sparkling Foiled Pigments, the Metalist ones. There were 3 that I didn't already have, and so I was like, prime time, I'm going to get them all, and I'm going to buy them with the sale. And I've got 2 of these on my eyes today. I've got Cream Peach on the inner corner, and then I have got Golden Tangerine a little bit further out. So I've got that Sephora palette, and then 2 of these Touch in Sol eyeshadows on my eyes today, and these are just, I love these shadows. The sparkle and the shine is so pretty, and it's not chunky. They're like the sparkles, like they must be itty bitty micro glitters, are so fine, so multi-dimensional and sparkly. They're just, I'm obsessed. If you really could only get one of these though, get number 4 Sun Aurora. It is absolutely stunning. One of the most unique shadows that I have. It's so beautiful. But anyway, these are the 3 others that I got that I didn't have. So I got number 6 Persian Rose, which is just a really pretty burgundy sparkle right here. Oh gosh, this is so pretty. It's so foiled. So this is Persian, did I say Persian Rose? Persian Rose number 6 right here. Look at that though. It's like a burgundy, and it's got silver, those really fine silver like micro glitter shimmers in it. And then I got number 3 Golden Tangerine, which, I mean, there's not really much tangerine about it. It's just a really pretty coppery bronze shade. But that's Golden Tangerine number 3. I'm always scared that, like, if I tip these, they're pretty good in the pan, but I'm scared they might fall out. So there's Golden Tangerine. And then the final shade is Cream Peach, number 1. And this is the lightest out of the shadows, but it's kind of a really pretty champagne, again with like silver glitters in it. So pretty. These go on really intense with your fingers, but I have been able to use a flat shader with them as well. I didn't grab enough of this product. Let me get a little more right there. So that's Cream Peach, Golden Tangerine, and Persian Rose. And those are from Touch and Soul. I just love these. Next up, I got 4 of the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duos. One's actually a bronzer, and then 3 of them are blush duos, but I also ordered a 4th blush duo. It's just not here yet. But I got 4 of these new Cover FX products right here. They come in like a matte type of cream packaging. These have got a matte blush and a baked gelée like foil. It can be a highlighter on a deeper skin tone. For me, it's definitely a blush, but it's got a shiny baked gelée on one side and a matte on the other, which makes these very customizable. So if you wanted a matte blush with a little bit of sheen, you can go into this and just a dab of that, or vice versa. You know, you wanted to tone down the shine. This is the one that I have on my cheeks today. I actually just went in with the baked gelée side as my blush, and I think it showed up really nice as a blush on my skin tone. The blushes are very, very pigmented. They blend out super well. I'm very much in love with these. I've got the bronzer as well. The bronzer is really pigmented, so you need to go in with that with a light hand. But the products as a whole, I'm very, very impressed with them. There's 0.51 ounces of total product in here, which is a ton. So again, here is what the packaging looks like. It's kind of like the face palette that they came out with. I got one in a BoxyCharm. I really love some of the products in there as well. It's that same type of packaging. So this one is Soft Peach. So here's your matte. And here's your gelée. I just love it. And again, this is the one that I have on my cheeks today. And there are, I believe, 6 total blushes and 2 bronzer shades. The other 2 blushes I'm pretty sure are too deep for me, but I'm so tempted to like collect them all, but I don't need to. So that is the Soft Peach. Then this next one is Pink Dahlia. Right here. It's a warm pink is what I'd call this one. You know what? I wore the peach yesterday. I have got Pink Dahlia on today. I've got the baked gelée side of Pink Dahlia on my cheeks today. Not the peach. I wore peach yesterday. So I've got this guy right here on my cheeks as a blush today. So that is Pink Dahlia. Why do I have them on different fingers? Okay, so it's these 2 right here. So there is Pink Dahlia. Then I also got Mojave Mauve, which this is a bit more of a cool toned pink. Very pretty as well. Very pigmented, very smooth. These are such nice products. So beautiful. So there is Mojave Mauve right there. And then I got the lighter of the two in the bronzers, and this is Suntan Bronze. And again, this is very customizable with if you want to put a little bit of shimmer in with your bronzer to just dab into a bit of that. There are times where I've used a Baked Gelée bronze product all over the skin when it was like a really hot day, and it looked good, man. Sometimes I think a really shiny bronzer can look super pretty on the skin. So here is Suntan Bronze. This color is very pigmented, so I did have to buff it out a little bit because it went on pretty intense. Suntan Bronze, and that's the lighter of the two. So what do I got? Soft Peach, Pink Dahlia, Mojave Mauve, and Suntan Bronze from Cover FX. Some awesome products. And then I finally bit the bullet and I bought the Tom Ford Soleil Glow Bronzer in number 2 Terra. I was going back and forth between the larger one and the small one, and I decided to get the big one because something was telling me that I was really gonna love this bronzer, and I do. It's the bronzer that I have on my face today. This is so easy to use. It's such a pretty bronze color on the skin too. I would say that I think if you're any maybe deeper than a medium, and if you do have this, let us know in the comments because it would be helpful. But I think if you're any deeper than like a medium, this is going to be much too light. I'm surprised at how light this is even on my skin tone because I have a really fair skin tone. So that's something to make mention of. But I'm going to swatch it next to two of my older Tom Ford bronzers. I never did buy the Baked Gelée version of the Tom Ford bronzers that came out. I hadn't heard really good reviews on them, maybe that's why. But this one here is back to a more powder formula. It's not as stiffly pressed as his original Terra, which I really like because you have to really go round and round in the older Terra to get that product picked up. However, that bronzer is stunning. You'll see mine in a minute when I swatch it next to it, but I really love this because it's super easy to use. It's just a really nice bronzer. There's a ½ ounce of product, or 15 grams in here. And again, this is the one that I have on my face today. I'm really glad that I got the big one too because I really like it. So that's the Glow Bronzer in 02 Terra. The finish is a matte too, but they're calling it a glow bronzer. There's no sparkle or shimmer or anything like that in there, but they are calling it a glow bronzer. So let me swatch it next to, this is 01 Gold Dust in his original bronzing powder. This one is much warmer, and this one does have a golden shimmer run through it. Right there. So that is Gold Dust. This isn't the glow version of Gold Dust. This is the older one. And then here's my very first 02 Terra in the regular bronzing version. I use this a lot. So this is a much firmer pressed powder than the new glow version. It's just a little more stiffly pressed in the pan. So you got to use a little bit more firm brush to get it to pick up. But it is a powder, it's not a gelée. So there is the old Terra, old Gold Dust, and then the new Terra, which I'm going to say that's probably my favorite. It's going to take this guy's place probably. And then lastly, Tom Ford released 3 new eye quads that showed up on Sephora. All 3 of them are like the Baked Gelée type of formula. I've got the one number 4 Suspicion. I went back, and I blame my buddy Rachel for this. I went back and I have Body Heat on the way too. I'm tempted to get the other one, but I don't wear colors like that as often, but it still looks really, really pretty. But this formula is stunning. It's that baked jelly type of formula, but there's something that's a little bit different in this newer formula on this guy. At least I don't have Body Heat yet, but from what Rachel was telling me, it's similar to this formula, or how she was describing it. I was like, that's kind of how this one is too, so I'm assuming they're the same. This has got a total of 0.21 ounces of product in here, and these are the shades. Very warm gold. You got a kind of a taupier brown down in here. But this formula is so smooth. It's almost, I don't want to call it sheer because it's got color and pigmentation, but the smoothness of it and how finely milled those shimmers are while being the kind of baked, they feel baked gelée to me, but they feel so smooth. It's really, really nice. Hopefully you can see it in the swatches, just kind of what I'm talking about. But I've worn this too. Super easy to use, super easy to wear, very, very pretty. After I swatched this and wore this, I was like, yeah, I need body heat. But look at how pretty those are. I just can't even with how smooth these shadows feel though. It's just a very, very smooth formula. Being that shimmery, it still feels smoothing, if that makes sense. So that's number 4, Suspicion, from Tom Ford. I think it's so beautiful. And that's everything that's arrived to my house so far from the Sephora VIB sale. The sale needs to stop because I'm out of hand. And then I placed a huge Ulta order. I had a massive amount of points to use, which you can redeem the points from Ulta into cash, which is so awesome. And they also did a 20% off recently too. I might just have to film another haul. I've got so much stuff I want to share with you guys, some just beautiful products. But anyway, that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.